This clip is brought to you by VegasWinners.com. Get expert sports betting advice from some of the best handicappers in the world. Head on over to VegasWinners.com and win yourself some money.
All right, up next, good question, by the way. Up next is James O'Neill, and he says, asked James O'Neill. Jim Wagner said, whose idea was it to run a special 12-hour pay-per-view for WrestleMania 2000? Bruce did an interview, and it was the first time I learned Bruce was Brother Love. Why did they not do it again? Is it because WrestleMania has become almost 12 hours already?
Well, it was, oh God, it was absolutely dreadful. And we did it on like the free channel, the TV Guide channel or whatever the hell it was. I think that's where we did it. But it was just painful because you had to fill that time with everything. We ran prepackaged spots to allow people to go to the bathroom and what have you, but we had cut-ins at the Fan Fest and all over the place that just, it was a nightmare to say the least. I mean, that's the nicest way I could put it. It was an absolute nightmare. Then you go right into the show, and there wasn't the staffing that we have now that you would have people that you could dedicate to it. We were all doing everything. So while trying to prepare for WrestleMania, it's like, oh, hey, and by the way, you got to go do this over here. So it was a pain in the ass.
There was, I don't know if you remember this or not, there was a best sign contest that month, and they picked 50 people to get WrestleMania for free. One would get a knock on the door, and they were flown to Anaheim that morning. Do you remember anything about that contest at all?
Oh, my God, no.
Guess who does? Our buddy, Efren. He remembers that his sign, and he remembers...
Did Efren win?
No, but his sign said, WrestleMania ticket costs $500. 16 WrestleManias with Howard Finkel equals priceless. And the winner, though, Efren still remembers it to this day because, you know, that's how he works. I WWF won these seats. That was the winning sign that was selected to that contest. So there's a little nugget for that WrestleMania and the winner there.
That's kind of a lame sign.
Yeah, I WWF won these seats, and they won the grand prize Anaheim trip to that WrestleMania. All right, G. Smith. Is it true that Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels was in the works for WrestleMania 22 prior to Eddie's passing? That is one match I would have loved to have seen.
It was talked about. It was definitely talked about. And that was, you know, sometimes when people talk about dream matches, that was one of those dream matches that I think would have been absolutely fantabulous.
I agree. I mean, two guys still, and Michaels was at that point still getting it done in the ring, and Eddie just amazing. So would have loved to seen it. It didn't happen, unfortunately, but again, dream match, as Bruce said. Tyler is up next. What were the plans for Mr. America in 2002? Was there a plan for the end of the angle?
There was, and it was pretty much the idea was to eventually shave Vince's head, have a hair versus mask match and shave Vince's head. But it was all based on the Midnight Rider angle that Dusty had done in Florida, and Watts and everybody under the sun had done some version of it. And this was our version of it with Hogan, and that eventually would bring Hogan back.
There you go. So that was the plan. Shave the head well before the Billionaires angle.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.